Hey guys, and welcome to the channel introduction for Shadeslayer Productions. This isn't going to be a typical short channel introduction like you would see on other channels. This is going to be more of a what are we doing here and who are we going to see kind of video. I hope that this video will help clarify some things, especially for what series are going to be on this channel, as well as who are some of the people that you're going to see. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first off, what series are we going to see? We're going to see Arcana Misfortune, obviously, since there are several videos of Season 1 already up. There will be more of them being uploaded before this video comes out. This video premieres. So you will see a couple more, at least probably the end of Season 1 on the channel before this video premieres later tonight. So, well, if it's tonight for you or if it's the next day, I don't know, but it depends on when you watch the video. Anyways, there's going to be a lot of Arcana Misfortune because Arcana Misfortune is like my main original series going on right now. But I will be adding Quirk Swallowed in Shadow, as well as my shy best friend is now my boss. And those two are going to be a little bit minor at this point because I'm mainly focusing on Arcana. But I do want to swap them over to a similar style as Arcana Misfortune. So I'm going to be working with my channel artists, Stampa and Grima, on figuring out how to get Quirk Swallowed in Shadow and my shy best friend is now my boss into that same style as Arcana Misfortune, so that it would make the story more enjoyable and more like people would actually be interested in watching it. So I hope that is something to look forward to. As I get more details and more things ready for it, I will be releasing more info, but right now I don't have any info, so please hold off on asking any questions about it until I get there. But for Arcana Misfortune, there are definitely a lot of big things planned. I'm going to be working with my channel artists on some big promotional things, as well as maybe some shorts dealing with it. But for now, we're going to be trying to work on finishing up Season 3 since we're already almost halfway through. Wow, that is bizarre. It's bizarre to believe. We're already almost halfway through, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. Anyways, that's some of the stuff that you'll be seeing on the channel. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the people or characters that you may see, and I really, really, really hope that that you guys will enjoy it, because these characters mean so much to me. They help me express my creativity. They really show me what I can do as a writer, and I really just hope that you guys will enjoy them as much as I do. Because, they're my children, basically, so I'm not sure if you will love them as much as I do. But I do hope that you guys will enjoy it. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I cannot wait to show these characters to you. These will come in, like, sets of 3 or 4 most of the time, except for the last one, which only has 2. But I want to mention that some of the characters that do not have designs yet, like Trinity, Marcus, and some of the characters from My Shy Best Friend, are not going to be in this video because they don't have designs yet. So it's not easy for me to describe someone that doesn't have a design yet. You're basically looking at a blank silhouette, and I really don't want you guys looking at that. Also, some of the characters, like the Mysterious Voice, the Evil Henchman, and the, and Kieran, and Maxwell, they don't have designs yet in Arcana Misfortune either, so they won't be appearing in the video either. But once their concept designs come out, I will give you guys more info on them, probably in a community post or a Instagram post, something like that. So keep your eyes open for that. I am really excited to talk about them. But in any case, let's just move on. So our first set is Sapphire Iris and Celsius. These are the 3 first protagonists that we meet in Arcana Misfortune, and oh my goodness, I love all of my OCs, but I especially love these 3 because they are the first trio that I ever really made, and I'm so happy that I got to show these 3 to you all, at least. Sapphire was my very first OC, and Iris and Celsius followed shortly behind afterwards, and I'm really just excited to see them. Sapphire is my original protagonist for Arcana Misfortune. She doesn't belong to any other world other than Arcana Misfortune, and I'm really happy that I got to show her to you guys. Iris is for Undertale, as I have stated in previous videos. She is the sister of Sans and Papyrus, and she absolutely loves puns, but she's also a neat freak, which is a little bit of a tidbit for you, which you may not have noticed before. Celsius is a Sonic the Hedgehog OC. She is a hybrid that was created from genetics of an echidna and a hedgehog, and she's just adorable. She's quite the fan favorite, and I absolutely love her as well. She is just a cute baby, and I understand why you guys love her, because I love her too. She is absolutely adorable. They're all teenagers. Sapphire is 17. She was 16 at the beginning of Arcana Misfortune, but her birthday passed at the end of Season 2, so she is now 17. Iris is 17. She is turning 18 this coming October, later in the month. She is actually a Halloween birthday, so I am really, really excited for that coming up. So she will be 18! Wow, she'll be an adult skeleton! Celsius is the baby of this trio. She is 15. She will be 16 at the end of December. Next up, we have our trio of adults, which is Aura, Opal, and Charlotte. All 3 of them are older, but they still have a little bit of naivete, especially since they've never traveled to other worlds before, but they are still strong characters, and I love the way the 3 of them put their heads together and work together on these problems. Aura is my primary Harvest Moon OC, mainly for Harvest Moon Light of Hope, and I absolutely love how scholarly she is, and yet she's almost like the mother of the main group. And she is amazing, she is wise, but she does tend to get a little frustrated, and you can tell when you see thistles growing around her feet. So be wary of that. She is a mage of nature, so she can control pretty much any plant growth and anything that needs to be helped with plants. Opal is my Stardew Valley OC. She's my primary Stardew Valley OC. I say primary because I have more OCs for Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley, as well as some of the other series, but they are my primary ones because they're the ones that I focus on in Arcana Misfortune, so that's why I'm saying primary, by the way. Opal is my primary Stardew Valley OC, and she is a absolute spitfire. She loves fighting monsters and keeping the town safe. She has been given the title of Dark Defender, or Defender of Pelican Town. So she is quite the amazing swordswoman, and she is absolutely awesome. She does tend to get a little in over her head and sometimes assumes before rushing into things, but she is good at heart and will do anything to protect her friends. And Charlotte is my primary Ace Attorney OC. She is a junior lawyer under Phoenix Wright at the current moment. I do have later arcs of her when she is older in her actual story, but for now she is just focused in her first arc when she is under Mr. Phoenix Wright. She is very logical and very much of sound mind. She doesn't know how to control her telekinetic and telepathy abilities yet. She's working on it. She is much better, but she doesn't quite understand how to control them yet, nor does she really understand how much these other worlds affect her abilities. So, Charlotte is actually the youngest of the adults. She is 23. Opal is the youngest, my bad. Opal is 22, Charlotte is 23, and Aura is the oldest at 26. All 3 of them are super strong and super amazing, and despite not knowing it, and despite them being a little bit critical of themselves, they are really, really smart and really, really strong. The next set is Copper, Rose, and Luna. Copper and Rose are the last 2 of the main 8, but Luna is the first of the second set of 8. Copper is my Mega Man OC. She is very sweet, kind, and doesn't really know too much about real life, so she's still kind of confused on some of the things that humans do, but she is really willing to learn and always seems to have a sort of smile on her face or some kind of solution to whatever problem may be appearing. Need a gas mask? Sure. Need medical kit? No problem. Copper has it all and is always willing to help. Rose is a princess from the Professor Layton world. She is from a different race that lives up in the clouds, which has not been discovered when she is basically alive. No one has ever been to her kingdom, and no one ever will be. Rose left that kingdom to go down to Earth and met the love of her life, obviously, and the rest is history. She is a puzzle solver, and she absolutely is gorgeous, smart, regal, and seems to know what to do whenever anything goes wrong. She is absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy that she is here. And then last but not least, we have Luna. Luna is my Kingdom Hearts OC, my primary one, and she is absolutely amazing. She is a Keyblade master who wields her own original Keyblade. I do not have a design for her original Keyblade yet. If I do get a design for it from my channel artist, I will show you guys because I love the idea of her having her own Keyblade. Anyways, she is sort of a time traveler that deals more with the KH lore, so I won't get too in-depth into it, but she is a sweetheart and absolutely loves defending people. She doesn't understand things sometimes, especially with different wordings, since she is from a different point in the past, but she is really sweet in heart and always willing to learn. Copper really doesn't have an age since she is a robot, but she is supposed to be representing the look of an 18-year-old girl. Rose is 24, and Luna is 22. The next set is Topaz, Diamond, and Violet. Now, these three were originally supposed to be sort of different when I first made them, but I'm happy that I changed the way that they are. Topaz originally was supposed to be a bit more of a shy girl than she is now. She's very spunky, and I absolutely love it. She is my only Mario OC, and I will plan to keep it that way, mainly because she is very much a solo character, and she doesn't really need anyone else to support her in order to make her story great. She originally was supposed to fall into the Mushroom Kingdom world along with Mario and Luigi, but she ended up being a princess when I changed her design and made her Daisy's sister. She's a runaway princess now, and she is absolutely feisty as heck, and I love her so much. Diamond is my primary Tales of Symphonia character. She is very beautiful, very regal, and she is an angel. No, literally, she is an angel. For real, she has something called a Crucius Crystal, if you don't know the Tales of Symphonia series, and that is what gives her her angel appearance. She has wings, but they're not shown in this picture. She has a twin sister who is somewhere else on her world, but right now she is in charge of traveling with the others. She's also sort of another mother figure / older sister figure for this group because she is a lot older than people think she is, and she's experienced enough that she really has grown into her own. And then we have Violet. I know the picture depicts her as a little bit jaded or stoic looking, but she's really not like that at all. She is very sweet, very kind, and she is a little ball of energy. She is my primary Vocaloid OC, and I love her so much. Vocaloid OCs are basically my own Vocaloid for the Vocaloid fandom, but she is absolutely amazing, and at some point one of my dreams is to be able to create an actual voice bank for her, so I really hope that someday I will be able to do that. Topaz doesn't really remember her age, so she doesn't really keep track. Diamond is actually supposed to be around 4,000 years old, and Violet is quite young. Her model is actually not that old, but her her design is supposed to represent the design of a 17 to 18-year-old girl. So yeah, a little bit of information on some of these newer characters. Aqua, Crystal, and Gwen are next. These three are ones in the second season that didn't get as much love and attention, and I'm really sad because I really wanted to show off more about them, but with more developing in the plot, there wasn't really a way I could do that. Aqua is my only Deltarune OC, and she is quite shy. Originally, she's more conserved and rather shy, but as she's been with this group, she's started to open up more, and as you'll see in some of her dark forms later, she's gotten a lot more open and into herself. She is really amazing, but doesn't really understand her own abilities that well. She tends to be rather hypercritical of herself. Crystal is my only Awakened Fate Ultimatum OC. She is half angel, half demon, and she tends to get criticized a lot for this, but she doesn't really care. She just lives her life the way that she wants to and doesn't really try to get involved in any drama. She is a very good general leader and works alongside of her partner in Celestia in order to work with the angels predominantly, but also does some negotiation with the demons. She is very, very regal, a little bit arrogant sometimes, but mainly very good leader. She doesn't tend to talk unless she's spoken to, but when she does talk, she does tend to go on rants. And then we have Gwen, my only Legend of Zelda OC. Gwen is very abnormal for a Hyrulean. You don't see Hyruleans often with black hair, so it's very rare to see someone like her. But she is a rogue, a mercenary, so she can fight. She uses predominantly a bow, but she also has a dagger and a sword that she does use on occasion because she's learning how. Gwen is predominantly very shy, doesn't really like to talk too much about her problems unless it gets to a certain point where she boils over, but she does agree that she needs to open up more and wants to try to learn. Aqua, we don't really know her age, but we can guess that she's somewhere around 14 years old. Crystal, we have no idea how old she is. It has been a long time since she was human, so her age is really unknown. And Gwen is supposed to be somewhere between 18 to 21 years old. Next, we have Lapis, Veronica, and Remus. Lapis is my primary Final Fantasy OC. She is for Final Fantasy VIII, and she is a researcher. Yes, she uses both a sword and a magic catalyst book in order to help her use her abilities. She predominantly researches old ruins as well as artifacts. Her father was an archaeologist, so she followed in his footsteps after he passed away at a very young age. She's only 18, so she's fairly young, but she is rather experienced in her field, and if you ever need something researched, I would definitely trust her. Next is Veronica, who is one of the primary villains of Arcana Misfortune. Veronica was first introduced in the middle of Season 1, and she's been given multiple different appearances throughout the series. She has made multiple different enemies as well as allies, and even some of the allies have turned against her. Veronica is a very confusing woman. A lot of her motives aren't known yet. All we really know is that she wants power. For what reason? We don't know yet. However, we do know that there is someone else behind the scenes helping Veronica with this. So I wonder who could be there. And then we have Remus, Veronica's husband. Remus is a very reserved and yet ambitious man. He tries to stay on the side of good to prevent Veronica from being able to do what she's doing. Unfortunately, this led to a conflict and caused Remus to be very injured, He had lost his sight in his right eye, due to a prior experience years earlier, but he is rather shaken at this point, so we don't really know where he is at. He tries to help Sapphire and the Rainbow Lights as they continue on their journey, but as he does not have a whole lot of experience traveling through other worlds, he doesn't quite understand it yet. All he really wants to do is help people and prevent Veronica from destroying everything. Like I said, Lapis is 18, Veronica is 28, and so is Remus. Next, we have some of the spirits that have been introduced into the series. I would have put Sylvia on here, but she has since been deceased. I will briefly mention her, but I did not put her picture on here since she is deceased. First, we have Seraph and Nigamo, which are the two most common known spirits from Season 1. They were originally enemies, but now are allies. If you don't know why, please go check out the series in the end of Season 2 if you have not seen it. That is predominantly for the change in their appearance. However, Nigamo is a Spitfire. She is, what's the word? She really is feisty and gets into a lot of trouble and doesn't really care. But the one to calm her down and kind of pull her out of it sometimes is Seraph, who is her partner in crime. Seraph is more calm, laid back, but will still try to rush in if anyone needs help, especially Nigamo. Seraph is also kind of a flirt, but only with Nigamo, so you can kind of tell what's going on there. These two are absolutely adorable together. Nigamo is over 150 years old, while Seraph is over 100. When they died, Nigamo was only 7 or 8 years old. Seraph was 12, 13 years old. Then we have Sol and Persephone. Pardon my nose. Sol and Persephone are the antagonists of Season 2. They were introduced after Veronica summoned them, and they worked alongside of Sylvia for a while. Sol is an older girl. She worked as a bodyguard in her previous life and was reincarnated to protect Persephone. When she died, she was 14 years old, and she is now over 100 years old, but her age is unknown. Persephone also died at age 14, and she is over 100 years old. She is much shorter than Sol, but also a lot more ambitious. While Sol is the protector, Persephone is the planner and the leader. She is the one creating all the booby trap plans and making sure that everyone follows and sticks to the plan. She does tend to go off on her own, which causes her to get in trouble sometimes, but she is learning to be more cooperative with the team. Persephone is rather unusual, as to say, because we don't really know why she acts the way she does. We don't know why that she's working for Veronica. So a lot of Persephone's motives are unknown. She died from a sickness when she was 14, and like I said, she's been a spirit for over 100 years. Next, we have some of the OCs that were introduced earlier in Season 3. We have Asha, Ruby, Orchid, and most recently, Lily. I will not be spoiling the rest of the characters for Season 3, as they do not have designs yet. Asha is my Kid Icarus OC. She does have a sister, Daisha, who was introduced in the same episode, but I'm not including her in this since it is the primary ones that are getting the focus today. I may touch on Daisha in another video, but we'll have to see. Asha is very, very judgmental and tends to get very defensive when it comes to her friends and family. She really likes to stick close to home and doesn't really go far. She used to be known as a great warrior, but however, since the war ended, she became sort of stone and defensive. She became stoic and a little bit unfaithful in other people. Hopefully, as she continues to travel with Sapphire and the others, maybe some of that will loosen up. Next, we have Ruby. Ruby is actually the youngest of the group, other than the villains. In the main OC, she is the youngest of the group at a whopping 12 years old. Ruby is my Yokai Watch OC, and she deals with her own yokai, including Kitsunyan, who was also introduced in Season 3, Episode 2, along with her. She is very sweet, very kind, always willing to help out, but a little bit unfaithful in her own abilities sometimes. She thinks that sometimes because she's a kid, that she's not able to do as much as other people. But as we travel through this, hopefully Iris and the others will be able to convince her that she is predominantly as strong as the others. Orchid is next. Orchid is my only Harry Potter OC. Now, before y'all start coming at me and saying, oh, what about the lore? What about the lore? What about this? What about that? Please don't. This is why I specifically did not give her an age or say what year she was in, because I didn't want people coming after me with the lore. This is an AU, and I really do not want people coming after me just for writing a character. So please don't ask any questions on that. Orchid in the current story, we don't know her age or what year she is in, and for a good reason, like I just said. But she is tends to come off as very stone-faced and stoic, and doesn't really show a lot of emotion to other people, except to people who she's really close with. She doesn't have a lot of friends who are female because she tends to get bullied quite a bit, but she does have a friend in Draco Malfoy who is also her significant other. Now, I know what you're thinking, Draco's not a nice person, but Orchid knows that, and Orchid sees the things in him that other people don't see. So keep that in mind as you judge away. But she is very much a Slytherin, very ambitious, very cunning, and always seems to know how to use her words to get out of a tricky situation. Except when it comes to teachers, of course. Last but not least is Lily. Lily was recently introduced in Season 3, Episode 4, and she is very, 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 very smart. She has all knowledge of all things shogi. She is actually, not shogi, shogi, pardon me. She is very smart. She's actually in top of her class in school. She's not the class president, but she is the top. She is very smart and knows how to keep herself in line while also keeping things shogi close to her heart. She does tend to come off as very logical and rational, however, she does get very judgy, and whenever anyone else mentions something that could, in her mind, potentially be wrong, she denies it immediately, and unless it is proven by fact, she absolutely does not believe it. She's very orthodox and loves to focus on things that are real. However, hopefully with Aura's help, she has been able to understand some of the magic world a little bit better. Asha doesn't really have an age. Ruby is 12. Orchid, I'm not saying her age because reasons. And Lily is 16. The last two that I'll be talking about today are two that have designs. Mika, which was introduced in Season 3 and got her design last episode, is one of the Season 3 villains who's been introduced rather recently. Her motives are unknown, but you do know that she has a partner named Kieran, who was voiced by Salad VA. Once he gets an official design, I will be showing it to you guys, and I cannot wait to do so because, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Anyways, she is rather mysterious. All we know about her is that she is very, very hyper, very high-pitched, and loves to make these little monsters. Where they come from, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out at some other point. But for now, keep your eyes peeled because Mika is going to be an interesting character to watch. And last but not least, we have my last really officially designed OC that I wanted to talk about, Mizuko Mihasho. Mizuko is my primary MHA OC. She is a 16-year-old girl with absolute love for heroes. She wants to be a hero predominantly because of an incident that happened with her family when she was very young. And she doesn't want anyone to experience what happened to her because she feels absolutely traumatized by that experience. There are other things with Mizuko that have led to this sort of traumatic experience as well, but I won't get into it since that is spoilers for the main series. Anyways, those are the OCs that I predominantly wanted to talk about today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed and learned a little bit about these characters. If you liked this, please let me know. If you think that you could give a suggestion for some of the things coming up, whether that be with Arcana or with some of the other series that are coming over to this channel, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to look at them. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week for the next episode of Arcana Misfortune. Bye!